Hello, everyone, and welcome to Northdale Middle School Pool for CTN's live coverage of boys high school swimming and diving. It's the battle for supremacy here at the pool, and you can see the Bengals on the prowl from the high dive as it is their home meet, and welcome their pool mates from Coon Rapids.
There's head coach Doug Donaldson, and this promises to be a very good meet, Joe, and I think it's going to be close. Probably it's as close as it's been in many years between these two squads.
.200 medley relay kicks this one off. Coon Rapids in lanes 2, 4, 6, and 8. Blaine swimmers in lanes 3 and 5.
Yeah, Blaine will have the odd lanes this evening. Rapids the even.
Sophomore Matthew Struess gets to the wall with a nice lead at the first exchange. Andrew Trung into the water for the breaststroke. Running second is Alex Todev of Blaine. And Emery Kiblin is in third for Coon Rapids up in lane 6.
You talk about first places are very important, but really it's that second, third gaining points that's going to be the difference here tonight, I believe, in this meet.
Trung gets Tyler Schultz into the water with a healthy lead still as Hunter Erickson tries to track him down in lane 4. All alone in lane 6 in third place is Devin Shabby. And a very promising young athlete and competitor in Tyler Schultz gets to the wall and sends Sarwin White into the water.
It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting, Joe, as this meet continues on, to watch the scoring and watch the spacing from these two teams.
And the Cardinals with a nice win in the first event of the night. They will take first. And third. And they will bring in fourth place down here at the bottom of the screen.
Certainly nice to take a first and third for Coon Rapids here in this first event. First, third, and fourth.
11-5 the score, or no. First and third in the relay event is an 10-4 advantage for the Cardinals in the opening event. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with the 200-yard freestyle after this. You're watching Coon Rapids versus Blaine on CTN. Back at Northdale Middle School Pool, Blaine and Coon Rapids in the pool, and Cardinals with the lead after the first event. Now the 200 free. Blaine in the even lanes, Coon Rapids in the, Coon Rapids in the even lanes, Blaine in the odd from bottom to top.
Well, so far a good start for the Cardinals, winning that first event, going up 10-4.
Andrew Trung, who was part of that winning relay team, has the lead here in the 200 free. So got a nice warm-up with a 50 free as part of the medley relay. And now right in the next event and leading the way down the stretch.
Now he has a nice turn. He's got a nice lead.
Good battles for second through fifth place. All the points you can see stretched straight across with the two Bengals in second and third, and the two Cardinals in fourth and fifth right now.
Trying doing a nice job of extending his lead. That'll be a matter of who's got the stamina down the stretch to finish those second through fifth place.
Kyle Emmons trying to battle for that third place position at the last turn, but falling out as they go into the last lap, and now Trong down the home stretch with an impressive lead. Just above him is Wyatt Brenny, who will take second. Mindone is going to be able to hold off for a third place finish for the Bengals. The two Cardinals will touch up within seconds of one another. It's Lyman in fourth and Emmons finishing fifth. So the Cardinals get another victory and they will stretch their lead. We'll be back. Coming up next is the 200 IM. You're watching live boys swimming and diving on CTN.
CTN Spotlight brings you local stories, shining a light on the issues and events that make this community great. Watch CTN Spotlight on CTN Coon Rapids, your community television network.
Back at Northdale Middle School pool, Coon Rapids a 19-11 lead over the Bengals after two events. Up next, the 200 IM. The Cardinals in the even lanes from bottom of the screen to top is Kevin Struess in 2, Tyler Schultz in 4, and Emery Kiblin in lane 6. The Bengals send Evan Belter and Jace Dayton into the water.
Yeah, we've seen Tyler Schultz swim real well this season so far. Good opportunity for him here in this race in the 200 IM.
He's at the center of your screen. They start with a butterfly, and he starts with the lead after a good shot. Don't forget the guy at the bottom of your screen, Kevin Struess, who's going to challenge and push at least for second position.
Now this is this is endurance as well. I mean, 200.
Jace Dayton running second place as they turn and go into the backstroke.
A nice push
running
off.
Third place is Emery Kiblin up in lane 6.
Nice push off the wall for Schultz too. And he's got a nice lead coming back.
Solid second place for Jace Dayton. Kevin Struess now with a slim lead in the bottom for that third spot over teammate Jace Dayton, or Emery Kiblin up in lane 6. Schultz just continuing to stretch his lead as he heads down in the breaststroke.
Yeah, he's really doing a nice job of opening it up. And again, another nice push off the wall to give himself some space again.
And he will win this one easily by half a... Oh, he's still got freestyle.
Yep.
Forgive me for being out of line.
I don't know. You're on line so often, it's tough to forgive you every single time.
Jace
but we will this time.
Has the second place right now, but Emery Kiblin is nibbling at his heels as they go into the freestyle for the second and third spots at the podium. You see Schultz going by the other way and easily tagging up more than a full length.
It's a battle for second and third coming down the stretch.
Kimlin's got a shot here to surpass Dayton down the stretch.
I don't
But
think
it
he's
looks
going to
like
do it,
Dayton's going to
unfortunately.
be able to hold on and get second place for the Bengals. Kimlin will end up in third. Struess will take fourth down in lane 2, and Evan Belter will finish fifth. We take another break. The 50 free, the splash and dash up next from Northdale Middle School Pool on CTN.
The county hopes construction of the overpass can start in March or April and be finished by the start of the new school year.
Yes, I'm gonna live to be 100.
First place with a final time of 2 minutes, 7 seconds, .78. Tyler Schultz from Coon Rapids.
Back at Northdale Middle School Pool, just about ready for the quickest event of the night, the 50 free. It's down and back as quick as can be.
Your favorite, Joe Young's favorite event of the evening.
This one's all about speed, but it's also about technique. You got one shot off the board, you got one shot at the wall, and as good as you can do in those two areas has a lot to do with how you finish. Blaine running 1, 2, 3, and a very impressive fast 350 freeze. And the Cardinals will take 4-5.
Yeah, nice event for the Bengals here. They're going to close that lead that Coon Rapids has built up.
Samuel Uribe is we'll take a short break. We'll be back diving coming up next. You're watching CTN's coverage of high school swimming and diving.
This is my kingdom come. This is my kingdom come.
Hi, I'm Ryan Nagasu, 2010 Olympian and bronze medal winner of the 2014 U.S. Championships. I knew I loved skating at the age of 5, and now it's become my life passion. Find your skating passion at the Coon Rapids Ice Center. Classes are available all year round. It could be the place where your skating dreams come true. See you on ice.
Diego Mendlik starting the diving competition
Award 13.6.
for the Cardinals.
Dive 201.
And now Tyler
Straight.
Griziak for the Bengals. We're joined for the diving portion by Cardinal head coach Doug Donaldson. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, guys.
The real star is on with us now. The real star of swimming.
I'm not the star.
Of swimming.
Griziak also with the back dive in the straight position. He's only got a couple of dives tonight.
Award 13.6.
Scores a 3.5, a 2.5, and a 2 from our judges.
Dive 202C. Back.
And now Quentin Vo for the Cardinals. Back one somersault.
Quentin's second year on the team.
Little over rotation.
He has hops, so he can really jump. He just put too much into that, didn't go up. He needed to go up more to get the rotation through.
And those are things, obviously, you improve upon, you learn during the season.
Yeah, and he's improved a lot since last year. So it's, I mean, that was not a dive he was doing last year. So it's fun to see him going out and trying it.
Kieran Hubler, pretty good. He did get some distance, but he got himself back straight.
You can see what Quentin was trying to do on the dive before, and then what Kieran ended up doing on that dive.
Earned a 4 2 3.5 on that dive.
Blaine's Chris Hess will back dive in the tuck position.
Got some distance from the board, but he didn't come straight to the water.
Yeah, you're looking to see it go up a little bit higher and then hold that tuck just a little longer. He opened up a little bit too soon, and that's why he went out farther than anything.
Got a 4.5, a 4, and a 3.5.
And now Talen Miller for the Cardinals. That was a nice dive.
Yeah.
Very nice dive, yes.
Good distance. Good entry into the water.
Talen's third year on the team, second year as a diver. He's made a lot of improvements.
Yeah, 2 5s and 4.5. Nice score for him.
Timmy Rotter, good pike position.
Could have used a little bit more pike. He definitely touched his feet, but it was a good score overall.
Good score, yeah. 5.5, a 5, and a 4.5. Solid.
And now Jack Simmer, the final Cardinal diver of the first rotation.
Jack has really vaulted himself
Right. It was a
up the
pretty
standings.
dive.
Very good diver. He's worked hard. After the season, dove for a club team.
2 5s and a half and a 5. That best score so far.
Logan Stiles now will finish round 1 for the Bengals. And that was a very nice dive.
Well, 6s across the board. Yeah, that was very nice.
It's going to be a close competition in diving tonight for sure.
Yep.
So back to the top, Diego Mendlik. Forward dive in the tuck position, a little over. Feet came over a little bit, but got his hands in clean.
He really needs to work the board just a little bit better. He left about a foot off from the end of the board, so if he needs to get that dive closer to the end of the board, that'll straighten up the dive, make it a lot cleaner entry.
But a rarity, Doug, is not to distract from the dives we are seeing. Tyler Gresiak, his second forward dive tuck. But we've talked about the growth in your programs, both boys and girls.
Yeah.
But to come in here tonight against the Bengals and see a bigger, stronger squad in red is a rarity in our time.
It certainly is a rarity.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to be in this position, and we're going to go out and give it our best shot, see what happens,
it's
Now
been-
Quentin Vo with a forward dive in the tuck position.
You know, it's been 4 years now. This is my 4th season as a head coach, and you know, we've had to do a lot to get our team back to, you know, being competitive with other teams in the conference, and the guys have really worked hard. They've put the effort into the pool, and you know, they're seeing the results this year. You know, last year was a start, but
Well, it's been fun to watch this program grow over the last couple of years, and that's the exciting part for me.
Kieran Hubler, good, powerful dive. Didn't quite get back to straight, but he left the board strong.
Well, and he got good scores, a couple of 5s and a 4.5. Solid effort.
that's one of his best dives. He really excels at the reverse reverse somersault tuck. So
Kieran's award 23.2. Chris.
I'm really good at the cannonball.
3.8. Back 1.5.
I
I
excel
was
there.
more of a jackknife specialist myself.
2.1.
Or slipping and falling into the pool.
nice dive. He really recovered well from that first round.
Award 32.5.
Yeah, you get good extension, good entry to the water, 5.5, 2 5s on that one.
Reverse, 1 somersault, tuck, 1.6.
A very pretty dive from Talen Miller.
You should get a decent score here.
Yeah, very
six,
nice.
Yeah, 6, 2 5.5s. Solid.
Timmy, dive 202C. Back, 1
That's awesome to see. He's gonna have to have a good dive tonight. So nice dive from Timmy.
Award 14.25.
5, 4.5, and a 4.
Jack, dive 204C.
Now Jack Simmer with a back somersault in the tuck position.
2.2.
Yes.
Like got
Nailed
good
it.
rotation. Yeah, that was nice.
Nice
Scores
dive.
seemed a little low.
31.9.
Yeah.
Logan.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard sometimes to see up here a little bit what they're seeing, but
Back, 1.5
maybe just
somersault,
wasn't
tuck,
quite straight on entry.
Stiles with a back 1.5.
Nice dive from Logan.
Yeah, good scores. 2 6s and a 5.5.
Part of it sometimes with the double somersault is you're landing on your feet, so it doesn't look as nice, and sometimes that just doesn't give you the scores that it deserves. So
Beginning round 3. Diego, dive 102C.
Back to the top for
Forward,
Diego
1 somersault,
Mendelik.
tuck, 1.4.
he's come a long way since we first started the season. It's fun to see the improvement in a short amount of time.
Dive 103C. Forward, 1.5
Yeah, it's
somersault,
a matter of
tuck,
their kids are putting a lot of
1.6.
time into it
Yeah.
and improving day by day.
And just focus and commitment, trying it.
There we go. Legs came apart a little bit at the end, but he did get all the way over.
You know, that's a new dive for Quinton that he's been working on, and I know that there's been many days in practice where it doesn't go all the way over, and he lands, and it hurts.
I bet it
Right.
does.
So-
I bet it does. That's part of the practice over and over again.
It's great to see him put that in on the head.
Now Kieran Hubler with a front 1.5.
Oh, yes.
Looked like he had good extension. Didn't get his straight entry into the water.
Needed to kick out a little bit sooner, but that was very clean on the way around. He got a decent score out of that. So
3C, inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, 2.2.
Chris Hess in third place going into the third round. And another good, nice dive for Hess.
it's going to be a good score.
Yeah, he'll get it. It should be pretty good here. Maybe not as good as I thought. A couple of 5s and a 4.
But when you crank up the degree of difficulty,
Yeah.
Score 30 points on the dive, yeah.
Yeah.
1.6.
and now Talen Miller with a forward 1.5.
Nice talent. Yes. Sorry if I'm cheering for my guys a little bit here tonight.
Okay.
Well, I think you are allowed as a coach to do such a thing. We've been
We cheer for your guys too, so
1.7.
I've been accused of it in the past.
just a few times.
You guys aren't homers. What are you talking about?
Timmy Rotter, forward 1.5 in the pike position, pretty solid dive.
And that's, you know, there's evidence of a kid that, you know, gets on the board and works. You can tell he really works for it and seen the improvement. If you go back and watch all the past meets you guys come and watch with Blaine, you can see where he came from and where he is now.
It's great to see.
Yes.
Another double from young Mr. Simmer, this time inward in the tuck position.
36 points.
And the degree of difficulty a little bit higher in that
Yeah.
one as well. He's got a smile on his face and was obviously happy with his effort.
1.5 somersault.
Well, he's going to put the pressure on Logan Stiles. Inward 1.5 and a
little bit of a
solid
twist
dive.
at the end.
A little bit bent on entry, but he'll have the very slim lead of 4 points, 4.6 to be exact, midway through the meet. Both are going to put up very nice scores, though.
Yeah.
Mendelik now with an inward dive in the tuck position.
Just kick out right at the finish. He stayed tucked as he entered the water. Just needed to kick his feet out, point those toes, enter clean.
All part of the learning process.
That's correct. Yeah. I mean, it's week 3,
Yeah.
week 4. So, yeah. I mean,
Quentin Vo will attempt the same dive.
You see where Quentin kicked out, entered the water clean. And that's that's a year of diving. You know, Quentin's been working. He was on the team last year. Diego's in his first year. It makes a difference.
Well, and you've talked about the growth of the program, and it's not just that they're growing at a younger age. And
which is great for you.
Very exciting for both programs. Same dive for Kieran Hubler. But yeah, the youth means a lot to build upon.
Yeah, well, and that's the key is, you know, having those progressions of ages that a seventh grader joins a team, doesn't have to be on the varsity squad, can learn what it means to be on the team and what it takes. And by the time they're a sophomore, junior, senior, they're making contributions. That's what you want.
Another good dive for Chris Hess. A little bit of over rotation created a pretty big splash, but
got a couple of 5.5s and a 5.
Talen Miller inward dive in the tuck position.
Nice.
A good extension.
Very solid dive.
Five and a half, 6, 5.5. Very nice score. You know, those lower degree difficulty dives you really have to nail. You don't have as much opportunity for mistakes. A little bit farther out than he probably wanted to. See, his feet were on the edge of the board. That really pushed him farther out down the pool.
And now Jack Simmer.
Jack, dive 403C.
Inward 1.5 for Simmer.
Nice.
Really pretty dive.
Very nice. That's what he needed.
Yeah, nice score there. It's really nice the way he keeps his legs straight as he comes into the water. Make sure of that.
I've known young Mr. Simmer since he was about 8 years old. Good kid. And now Logan Stiles, the leader after 3. Will he be the leader after 4?
He went over a little bit on that dive. Oh.
Yeah, I don't think he entered the water as quickly as he'd like to.
Yeah, that's usually one of his best dives. Still got good scores on it, but definitely went over a little bit.
But it will mean he's in second place with 2 dives left. And Simmer has the advantage in degree of difficulty. Back to the top, Diego Mendelik, his final dive of the evening. Back dive with a half twist.
Nice.
Got 3.5s across the board.
Good overall score for him too. 72 points.
Quentin Vole with the inward one somersault in the tuck position.
Oh, he just needed to hold that tuck a little bit longer, and he would have gotten around on that. It's so hard to know when to kick out.
dive 402C. Inward, 1 somersault.
Kieran Hubler
1.6.
will attempt the same dive.
Nice. Just had that kick out at the right time, entered nice and clean. Should get decent scores here. 5, 5.5.
Yep.
5,
Nice.
5, 4.5.
23.2. Chris.
And now Chris Hess,
Dive 104C.
third place
Forward, 2 somersault. Tuck, 2.2.
after 4 rounds. Forward double, still in a squatting position as he hit the water, but got the rotations in.
Just needed that little bit left from the board. He was once again back a little bit too far, didn't get to the end of the board, and that reduces the amount of spring you get, harder to get into that tight tuck, and really flip the amount that you need to get in on your feet on that dive.
Talen Miller in 4th place and is struggling with not having a lot of higher degrees of difficulty in his 6 dives.
Well, you know, you try to give him the best opportunity to dive the best he can.
Correct.
And, you know, sometimes that means not having all the DD, but he's doing really well tonight. So,
Well, the interesting for me is one small little thing can be off in it, and it'll throw off your entire dive.
yes. I mean, and you think about the board is not a stable object.
Right.
So, you know, you're bouncing up and down on it. How do you land? How do you
Right.
jump up? Yeah.
Double somersault for Timmy Rotter and got around, got his feet in first.
This
And he
gonna-
is right on the heels now of,
Right.
of Talen Miller.
That's going to be the key.
Forward, 2 somersault. Tuck, 2.2.
And that's, you know, when you don't have the degree of difficulty, it's hard to make up from a bad dive.
Nice.
Forward double somersault in the tuck position for Simmer.
He's working on getting that onto his hands for a 2.5, but that's certainly a nice dive for him.
168.
Dive 303C. Reverse
And now
1.5 somersault. Tuck,
Logan Stiles with a
2.1.
forward, or with a reverse 1.5.
Nice dive for Logan.
Got good height.
Yep.
It should be a good score for him.
38.85.
He got right back into it, just a little behind.
See, and they're going into the final dive. Jack Simmer with a lead of just under 5 points, but his final dive at 2.1 and Stiles' final dive at 1.7.
So it really just comes down to who does it best.
Yep.
Advantage Simmer, but
Back dive half twist for Quentin Vo to finish.
the important dive of this round, the dives we're going to want to really watch, Talen and Timmy. That's going to make a huge difference on
And
the
of
score.
course,
depending on
Simmer
who they
and
place.
Stiles.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, yes, of course, Logan Stiles, yes.
But for third place.
For 4th place.
Fourth place.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
That's worth 2 points versus 1 point for 5th. So that dive is so hard. there's not a lot of twist. There's not a lot of flip, but to do that straight, oh. It probably doesn't have to be that straight to do it, but it's amazing.
Chris Hess comfortably in the number 3 spot. His final is a reverse one somersault in the tuck position. And
Good,
a real nice dive for him to end on.
A little bit farther away from the board than he would like, but it was still a nice dive.
And here is Talen Miller holding that 4th position going into his final dive.
Not by
back,
much.
About 2 points.
One somersault with half twist.
Nice.
And it was a good dive for
that was clutch.
Talen Miller.
We'll see what the
Trying to hold
judges think, but
those team points. And
good score.
a slightly higher degree of difficulty for him at 1.7 than for Rotter, who is trying to overcome with a 1.5 degree of difficulty his final dive of the night, the inward dive in the pike position.
That was a good dive
And he
for Timmy.
finishes strong.
I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yep, not enough.
And now Jack Zimmer, his final dive leading at with 168, an inward. Back 1.5 somersault, half twist.
That was a good dive.
And a great dive for him to finish. It's going to be awfully tough
It's going to be
for Stiles to catch
nice.
him at 200 for Jack Zimmer.
Logan, dive 103B. Forward, 1.5 somersault, right, 1.7.
Needs about 36 points here. 37.
Good dive for him to finish on, but
I don't know.
it's only a 1.7.
I don't know if it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yep.
Not quite by 3 points. Jack Zimmer's going to hold on for the win for Coon Rapids with a 200.55. And of course, pool mates, this is one of their favorite competitions as well.
Yeah.
These two schools sharing this pool, and divers obviously a little bit different than swimmers in that they have a specialized skill, and so very familiar with one another.
Well, they go through the pain. That's the thing, is every day they see they know how hard it is, and swimmers know how hard it is, but it's the divers really feel it when they hit the water wrong, and they cheer for everybody. The diving group is a great group of boys, so every team, you come to the section meet, they're always cheering on each other. It's it's competitive. Obviously, people want to win, but it's a great part of our sport.
Well, there's pressure, a little more pressure, I think, on the divers, because in individuals, everybody's eyes are on you. And,
It's exactly right.
And like you mentioned, one little thing goes wrong, and it throws your whole dive off.
Yep, exactly. It was fun, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks for being here with us. And Jack Zimmer gets another first-place finish for the Cardinals, but a great battle between those two and the guys for 4th and 5th, as you had talked about. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with the 100-yard butterfly after this. You're watching CTN's live coverage of boys high school swimming and diving on CTN.
Get all your Cardinal sports action with Joe and I live every Monday at 7:30. If Coon Rapids plays it, Sports Night covers it. Sports Night on local cable CTN.
Back in Northtown Middle School pool, Coon Rapids with a 41-37 lead as we get back into the swimming categories. Cardinals in the even lanes. Devin Sabby, Matthew Struess, and Mitch Tronson. The Bengals, Ben Schuster, Hunter Erickson, and Garrett Anderson.
Yeah, this has turned into a close meet here so far. After diving, it's pretty exciting. It's going to go down, I believe, to the last event. It should anyway.
Well, Coon Rapids able to build up a lead over the first couple of events, and then a 1-2-3 finish for the Bengals in the 50 free really helped them cut into that lead, and then a good battle in diving, and they end up splitting the points 8-8. Yep. So Coon Rapids with that 4-point lead. At the first lap, it's going to be Struess just ahead of Hunter Erickson as they hit the midway point. Down in lane 2 for Coon Rapids, Devin Sabby is in 3rd place. 4th place just above him, Ben Schuster. But a real close match coming down the home stretch now for Matthew Struess and Hunter Erickson.
Yeah, Struess holding that slim lead.
He's going to be able to hold it, though, and he will get to the wall first.
It looks like Cardinals should take 3rd place, I believe, here.
At the bottom of the pool, Devin Sabby will get to the wall easily in 3rd. And it looks like they will grab 5th as well, as 4th place is Ben Schuster all by himself. Up at the top, Mitch Tronson, just a 7th grader. A familiar name for Cardinals sports fans. Son of wrestling coach Adam Tronson, grabbing 5th place, the last point available for the event. We'll take another break. Coming up next, 100-yard freestyle. You're watching CTN's coverage of boys high school swimming and diving.
CTN Spotlight brings you local stories, shining a light on the issues and events that make this community great. Watch CTN Spotlight on CTN Coon Rapids, your community television network.
In 2nd place, Hunter Erickson, Blaine.
Back in Northtown Middle School pool, Coon Rapids stretching the lead a little bit with the 1-3-5 finish in the 100 butterfly, and now moving into the 100 freestyle. And Tyler Schultz back in the pool. He's had a couple of first place finishes to start the event. Schultz, just a freshman. His sister put 6 records up on the board this
She's pretty good.
Past fall.
And Schultz got a nice jump, but he's got a little more competition this time.
Reese Wilson just above him is right with him as they approach the midway point.
All about that kick off the wall. Get a little, stretch the lead out a little bit.
Sarwin White running in 3rd place right now, up in lane 2.
And Schultz has extended his lead just a bit.
Or up in lane 6, rather. And Schultz will get in with the win.
Cardinals will take first
another
and
blue
third.
ribbon. Wilson not far behind. Sarwin White in 3rd. 4th place will go to Brady Lease in lane 4. 5 is down at the bottom of your screen with Nathan Hansen. And no JV 500 free.
They'll go right to the right to the varsity. What a nice first and third place finish for Coon Rapids, again extending their lead as we will get the 500 freestyle started here eventually.
Increases the Cardinals' lead to 61-49 now after 7 events. And they have first place in all but 1.
It's been a nice showing so far for the Cardinals.
Another Cardinal I've known for a long time about to get in the water, Jordan Aho, down at the bottom in lane 2. I coached him in hockey a few years back.
You're the man.
And I believe it was before last season he decided to move from the rink to the pool. And Coach Donaldson tells me, much as I expected, a great kid to work with and sees a nice future for the sophomore.
And again, it was nice having the opportunity to talk to Coach Donaldson during the diving and get his thoughts on the progress of the team.
Andrew Trong in lane 4 and Bradley Lymanen in lane 6 are both senior captains for the Cardinals. Yahir Sanchez Silva is the Cardinal in the top in lane 8. For the Bengals from bottom to top, Caleb Marithi in lane 3, Wyatt Brenny in lane 5, and Mindone up in lane 7.
And of course, this is the endurance race. You pace yourself here because it's a long run.
Yeah, you just want to make sure that you don't fall too far behind or too far off pace of the leaders, and know that you need something to finish with at the end. 20 lengths of the pool.
It's a lot. Could you do it?
Absolutely not. Could I do 5?
How about like doing the dog paddle?
If I could switch it up to do a little freestyle and then a lot of back float.
Or a raft. Get a raft.
Raft would help. I
Raft would help
don't know
me.
that I could make it 500 with a kickboard.
That'd be tough. I mean, it's a grueling race, and you have to be in great shape, and you have to have a lot of endurance, and your wind
and the mindset has to be
good.
right.
Yeah,
too.
No question.
So reaching the quarter point, Andrew Trong has the lead over Wyatt. Oh, it's actually Bradley Lymanen that's just ahead of Wyatt Bremy. But a lot of race to go.
Plenty of time.
Those three all within a length of one another. 4th place, moving up top, is Mindone. And then down towards the bottom, Marithi trying to catch up with Doan and get some distance away from Aho. And now we see Trong starting to stretch the lead a little bit over the last 50 meters or yards, as the case may be. Just starting to break away a little bit from that battle now for 2nd place between Lymanen and Brenny.
Again, Trong with a nice push off the wall, creasing his lead.
Already lapping the top of the pool is Trong. Nice and smooth so far, but can he keep this pace up?
Well, and that's the key, and that's
as he heads toward the midway turn.
That's why your endurance is so important in this race.
Brenny's starting to pull away from Lymanen a little bit as they reach the midway point as well. See him now with a length and a half lead. And Lymanen not far ahead of Doan, above him.
Now this is where you'll see where your wind comes in, and again where your leads either are sustainable or they go away a little bit. Topar Trong, he's done a nice job of swimming with the lead.
About a half a length lead. Still a lot of race left, but the top 3 spots starting to distance themselves from one another. Lymanen's board holder trying to urge him on that he's not too far behind and out of second place quite yet. He's trying to catch up.
Well, he's going to obviously try and catch up. He's
just
gonna,
on cruise control.
Yeah.
He really hasn't shown any signs of slowing down 3/4 of the way through. That's Brad Lymanen.
Lymanen, yep. And again, he
had been cutting into the lead by Brenny, but now has fallen a bit further back and is again being threatened by Doan as those two reach the quarter mark.
Well, again, he just wants to at least maintain his 3rd place spot.
Trong almost a full length ahead of Brenny in second place.
There's Brenny right there in second place.
One more lap for the leader. And Trong should win this one pretty easily.
He should.
The good fight for the last lap is really going to be that 3rd and 4th place spot, as Brenny is got a very healthy lead over Lymanen. You see Trong coming home, Brenny going back the other way, and then above you see the battle between Lymanen, who is doing a nice job of really kicking it in. There's Trong awaiting the rest of the swimmers. Brenny is going to be in there second easily. And Lymanen, a great last 50 or 75 to stretch the lead, but a great last turn off the wall for Doan to try and catch. He won't have time to do so, though. And they will finish 3-4. Down in lane 3, we'll have Caleb Marithi coming in all alone in 5th place.
Oh, just a nice
and
race.
Jordan Aho will be about a length behind him. A length of the pool, that is.
Andrew Trong, though, really a nice race here for him.
Absolutely.
I mean, he just basically controlled this thing and really did a nice job of opening up his lead, cruising to the victory.
And the final one into the wall up top is 8th grader Yahir Sanchez Silva.
Oh, he's got
one more lap to go. But that's one of the great things about swimming. The winner has still not gotten out of the pool.
Nope.
And they will all shake hands.
Everybody encourages everyone.
Especially in this race, as we talked about early on, a very grueling endeavor.
I give him a lot of credit.
Andrew Trong and Wyatt Brenny chatting it up. And Sanchez Silva will get to the wall. That'll send us to a commercial. We'll be back with the 200-yard freestyle relay. After this, you're watching CTN's coverage of boys high school swimming and diving.
Stay connected to what's happening in your community by watching CTN Update, with a new episode every Friday at 5 p.m. From your local city and county government to what's happening in our schools, to interesting stories on the people and events here at home, we've got it all covered. CTN Update, keeping you connected to your community.
Back in Northdale Middle School pool, Coon Rapids upping their lead yet again, now up 70-56. 8 events gone, 4 to go. Up next, the 200 free relay.
And now the varsity heat of the 200-yard freestyle relay. Fire, please.
Bengals now really need some top finishes.
They do.
Coon Rapids has owned the top of the podium so far, except for the 50 free when the Bengals went 1, 2, 3. And this is 4 straight 50s, and it's Blaine's Logan Vagel who has the lead. Or no, excuse me, it's Vagel up in 5 that has the lead and gets Reese Wilson into the water. Struess gets Kiblin in behind him in second, but they're being overtaken by Garrett Anderson in lane 3. A good battle for second place as that top Blaine squad in lane 5 is running away. Wyatt Brenny has already had several really nice races. He was just in for that 100 free, right back in for the 200 free relay.
Yeah, and again, they've opened up a big lead.
That's the battle for second and third right there. Ethan Warmack for Coon Rapids just ahead of Evan Bolter.
And he's been able to open the lead for second place for Coon Rapids.
Alex Totev into the water with a huge lead, and he will just stretch it out. Sarah White trying to complete their second place finish. It looks like his lead should be insurmountable over Mindone below him. Totev will get to the wall in first. And coming in second is Sarah White in lane 4 for Coon Rapids. Third place is Mindone in lane 3. Fourth place will go to the Cardinals as well. And a close finish up top as a fingernail touch, the difference. And down in lane 1, Alex Zayasunathon will finish up as the final for 200 free relay. Take a break. Up next, 100 backstroke. You're watching Coon Rapids versus Blaine swimming and diving on CTN. And now the 100 backstroke. Just 3 events left. Bengals able to cut into the lead. Still trailing by 8. $100 backstroke for Blaine, Nicholas Anderson, Jace Dayton, Hunter Erickson, and Sean Cronin, bottom to top. For Coon Rapids, Kevin Struess, Matthew Struess, and Devin Sabby from top to bottom. Just to shake things up, and Matthew Struess has the early lead.
Slim lead.
And he's been a nice piece for the Cardinals the last couple of seasons, and just a sophomore. Him and Tyler Schultz, the leading point getters for this squad. Jace Dayton hanging right with him as they reach the final turn. And this one will go right down to the finish. The JV heat of this race came down to a fingertip, and this one will as well. Hunter Erickson, a great final turn and final 25. He's going to pull away and get the win over Struce. Bengals will grab third place. Fourth place, Coon Rapids. And a fifth place finish will go in close fashion to Hunter Erickson of Blaine, we'll go to Coon
Sabby.
Rapids. Sabby grabbing that is a huge point at this point in a closed meet. We'll take a break. We'll be back to Northdale Middle School pool after this. Up next, the 100 breaststroke.
Deep downfield, Milwaukee behind the defense has the catch, and he is gone.
Great showing in the 100 butterfly. But you can't quite catch the leader. And it's hard to throw you for a loop.
No, not when it comes to swimming.
Last two events have been big for the Bengals. They have cut a 14-point lead down to 4. 2 events remaining.
Yeah, we knew this would be a close event, but it is definitely close here in this situation. Cardinals with that 4-point lead with 2 events remaining, and this will be an interesting test.
And now the varsity heat of the 100-yard breaststroke. Five for the start, please.
And off they go. The Bengals have Garrett Anderson, Logan Vagel, Alex Totev, and Martin Totev in the water. The Cardinals have Ethan Warmack, Emery Kiblin, and Kyle Emmons up in lane 6. And with just a 4-point lead for Coon Rapids, Blaine comes out with a great start and is sitting 1-2. Cardinals look like locking up 3rd through 5th. But those are huge points. That would put it even going to the relay if it finished as it stands halfway through.
Yeah, right now it looks like it very well may finish that way.
Well, there could be an interesting battle in this one for 5th place, final turn. And right side by side are Vogel and Alex Totev. It's Vagel that has a slight lead in 3. But we could have a good race for 5, and that's going to be a huge point. Totev will out-touch him by 6/100ths of a second. Cardinals finish 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Yeah, big point.
And we are going to be tied.
Wow.
Going to the final event. Hold on to your hats, people. It's going to be an exciting finish at Northdale Middle School pool. The 400 freestyle relay up next on CTN.
The award-winning community programming by CTN Coon Rapids is funded exclusively by cable subscribers. Without those subscribers, we would not exist. So no more coverage of local news, stories, events, and sports in our community. So thank you for subscribing to cable TV and for supporting CTN.
Going into the final event of the night, and it is all tied up. The Blaine Bengals with a little bit of momentum. They won the last 3 events. and have come back to tie at 86, but the center lane stacked for the Cardinals with Andrew Trong, Sarwin White, Matthew Struess, and Tyler Schultz. The Blaine team in lane 5 of Hunter Erickson, Min Doan, Reese Wilson, and Wyatt Brenny will be the 2 lanes to watch.
Yeah, it should be the battle here in the last event.
Winner takes all.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
According to Coach Doug Donaldson, it could be as long as 18 years since Coon Rapids had a win over the Blaine Bengals. And this one is going to be tight. That's 2 pretty talented squads in the middle of the field. Both teams with guys who have already helped garner some of the big points tonight. 2 really strong finishers in those 2 lanes, and a great race off the bat between Bolter and Trong. Or Trong and Erickson rather.
Yep. Yeah, it's as close as you can get.
Bolter
that first heat
is maybe a slight lead, but Trong closing it in the final 10. And they're going to tag almost simultaneously. Sarwin White for Coon Rapids into the water against Blaine's Min Doan.
And he's opening up a small lead.
Well, he has the benefit of length.
Yes, he does.
He is a tall young man. Cardinals start with a couple of seniors and then finish with a sophomore and a freshman. Bengals start with a junior, have 2 seniors in the middle, and finish with a junior.
Yeah,
but I fully expect it to be Wyatt Brenny and Tyler Schultz really battling in a close race at the end. But Sarwin White trying to break my prediction as he starts to stretch the lead a little bit over Min Doan in his final turn. He's got about a length and a half on him coming to the wall. Matthew Struess into the water with a lead. And now Reese Wilson will try to catch up before they get to that anchor leg.
Yeah, he's going to
give his guy a chance.
He's going to have to make up some distance here because the Coon Rapids team
was just a great race from Sarwin White.
Yep.
But it's a good push here by Wilson. He's right back onto the heels of Matthew Struess. Halfway through their part of the race, going to their final turn, a little more than a body length lead for Struess over Wilson. And a great turn to push back in for Wilson has cut that lead to almost nothing, and those 2 are going to be neck and neck and get Brenny and Schultz into the water. And it all comes down to the final 100 yards, Howie.
It's about as exciting as a swim meet I can remember in a long time here at Coon Rapids.
I remember when we were at it, came down to the final event, the Cardinals out-touched the opponent. I don't know for sure that it was the Blaine Bengals, but it certainly could have been. That was some time ago.
Struess got a nice little push. He's got a bit of a lead here.
Schultz is very fast.
I meant Schultz, sorry.
Just getting faster. And Brenny is seeing hope fade. Good turn for him, but he's got to have a strong finish. And Schultz just getting faster in his final 25 is going to come in easily, and the Cardinals are going to get the win here.
Nice to see. Nice to see the Cardinals get that win, and this was such a competitive meet.
Yeah, it looked early on like the Cardinals might be able to build a lead and stretch it out, but Blaine, to their credit, came back and did a great job over the last 3 events to get it back to even, and just a great race at the end. And Tyler Schultz with a great finish.
Yeah, give credit to Brennan. He put a lot of pressure on him, but Schultz, as you mentioned, just started getting quicker and quicker, and he was able to pull away and get the win for Coon Rapids.
And the Cardinals will take third place. Those points matter not, but Cardinals already celebrating as they should.
Absolutely should. A nice win for the Cardinals here, and I'm glad we were a part of it.
Well, and it was a twist of fortune that brought us here tonight, but we are very glad we were here to see this history being made, and just a great race for this team, and a heck of an accomplishment to finally get that monkey off their back.
Yeah, I mean, the big smile on that man right there, and well deserved. He's done a great job with both boys and girls programs here at Coon Rapids, and continuously growing the programs. And you see here in a win for Coon Rapids, it's a huge night for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and we talked about it with him when he was up here. A lot of their points are coming from the lower grade levels, and the team just continues to grow all the way from middle school on up.
So you see the final 96-90. Cardinals getting the win. And I'll be excited to read Coach Donaldson's email when he sends it. His thoughts on the finish to this.
I can't remember. Oh, they have Park Center and Irondale in a tri-meet coming up on Thursday. And those are two teams that the Cardinals feel they should be able to come out on top against. They could get 3 wins this week in the conference, and that would be huge.
That would be huge, and this hopefully the start of that week for them, so it'll be fun.
A long-awaited celebration for the Coon Rapids swimming and diving team. And I couldn't have stepped on that celebration as it was well-deserved and long-awaited.
Yes, we needed to see that, and that's great. And I love Coach Donaldson right in the middle of it. And these young men celebrating with all the teammates celebrating in a well-deserved win for Coon Rapids.
We have another Blaine Coon Rapids duel on the horizon. Coming up on Friday, the Blaine Bengals boys basketball team visits the Roger E. Carlson Fieldhouse. We'll have live coverage of that here on CTN starting at 7 o'clock.
Thanks everyone for joining us tonight.
And then we are off until
Thursday
the following week.
Boys basketball as well.
Boys basketball as well.
Harding, I believe.
But that's going to do it for this edition of CTN Sports. Again, the final score from Northdale Middle School pool. It's Coon Rapids 96, Blaine 90. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us, continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying goodnight.